Plunderstorm, one of the most divisive things ever added to the game. Which side are you on in the Plunderstorm debate? This weekly reset. Let's check out what Talius and Evitel have to say about Plunderstorm.
This video is sponsored by Squarespace.
I did, Esharada. Pepe's there, that's right.
Here we go, Evie. Are you ready to Plunderstorm?
Yeah, I'm ready. Hey, Four Candles, are you ready to Plunderstorm?
I'm ready.
Hot Forsaken Lady, are you ready to Plunderstorm?
I am ready to serve.
Everyone, are you ready to Plunderstorm?
Yeah!
I'm ready.
Oh
no.
Let's go, team. It's plundering time.
Oh, hey, Dorcanestra. This is a little bit awkward.
I wonder what mechanical thing stopped them from putting Drakthir in the Plunderstorm event. I don't. Maybe it's the flying, like eliminating the flying mechanics was a problem or something. I don't understand why, but yeah, there's no Drakthir in Plunderstorm.
But you're not actually invited.
What do you mean? I'm a WoW race.
Yeah.
A really cool WoW
Oh,
race.
so cool.
We're
And
ready.
all the other races are invited.
Yeah.
Yeah, even allied races. It's awesome.
And sad.
Yeah, so sad.
But that's the rules.
Honestly, it's not even that fun. You're not even missing out.
Oh, okay, great. Do you want to go run a dungeon instead then?
No, absolutely not. It's plundering time. I mean, I should probably grind some more renown because the pirate set is so good.
And it is limited time.
Yeah, I'd hate to miss out.
Like me.
Oh, like you, yeah.
Nice one, Evie.
Maybe next time.
But probably not.
No. Is it wrong that I like the game even more because he's not allowed?
Ooh.
Knowledge is power.
Hello Internet, Taliesin
Shots
here.
fired.
Welcome to another episode of the weekly reset, Taliesin and Evertel's Wondrous Wisdom Show. In a week where we are talking Plunderstorm, the secret patch, and should it have been a secret? And is it good? And is it WoW? And is it good for WoW? There are many people that love Plunderstorm, and there are many people who think it is objectively the worst patch ever in the history of
Yeah.
WoW. And the question is, which side are you on? And
Here's the thing. Obviously, it's the PvEers are angry about Plunderstorm because they wanted something for them, right, in the game. I don't know if this is like a societal thing or what it is, but for me, I'm a PvEer, but not everything has to cater to me in life to be happy. Okay, I'm actually happy for PvP people because nobody has been more starved of content than them. Those poor guys haven't gotten shit in a long time. So I was happy to see, oh yeah, a cool PvP event. That's fun. And I've actually played it and had fun doing it, even though I usually don't do PvP because it's not really like WoW PvP. You don't have to know what other classes do. You don't have to have like an index this thick of knowledge to understand what's going on. It's just like a get in there, casual PvP, do it and get out. So for me, would I have liked a PvE event more, like some kind of world content or something? Of course, because that's what I enjoy doing most. But I'm not angry that it wasn't PvE related. And I think we're going to get something in that time running Pandemonium event that is going to be PvE anyways. But, to be angry because the world isn't built around you, I feel like is a childish take, honestly. Like, get over it. It's okay if somebody else gets their turn in the spotlight. Somebody else gets to sit on the king's chair in the kindergarten classroom and read a book to the class that day. It doesn't have to be you every time. Okay, so I just feel like the anger towards Plunderstorm is a bit ridiculous.
there's only one way to find out: the trial of Plunderstorm. In this episode, we're going to be looking at
Kill
each
pandas and
side
burn
in a
trees,
neutral
maybe.
and unbiased way. Something we can do because we have so much time to spare since we didn't
Right,
get
I really
invited to take part in the Creator Royale, featuring, and I quote, 60 of your favorite creators. And that's fine, okay? I want you to know it's absolutely fine that we didn't get invited, and it's absolutely fine that we aren't even 2 of your 60 favorite creators. We aren't sad about that. Don't write on the internet.
I got invited, but I declined. I felt like, like I said before, I feel like smaller streamers than me, like Asmon and Zaryu, deserve their time in the spotlight. So I declined.
We're sad about that because we're not, and it's fine. I just guess when Blizzard asked you who your 60 favorite creators were, you just had us placed at 61, which is absolutely fine. That's great. Thanks for having us at 61. And anyway, I'm not sure we could have made that day, whatever day it is, Plunder. So, the secret 10.2.6 patch, the one with the enticing pirate flag logo and nothing else, the one that Holly announced would remain a total secret secret so that all players could discover it together, inspired by Season of Discovery's lack of info, and which developers teased on social media for months about how exciting and different and awesome it was revealed during the NA Realm downtime a few hours before it went live as Plunderstorm, a 60-player battle royale mode taking place on the Arathi Highlands Warfront map. The limited time event is accessed through the retail
Yeah, I think if they wanted to keep it a secret, they just should have never revealed the flag in the first place, like until like the week before. Like maybe that week, put the flag on the roadmap, be like, oh, here's an updated roadmap. Bam, everyone's like, oh my god, what is that? You speculate for a couple days and then they reveal it. I think the months of speculation led to a high likelihood of disappointment. That's the truth.
To select screen, but is separate from that game.
It's never going to be as good as everyone's imagining.
A new character to take part, and the abilities you gain throughout the match and use against your opponents are unique to Plunderstorm. There are no classes or specs. Everything is universal. You collect abilities by looting chests on the map, killing NPCs, and of course,
it's a fun
other
event.
Players. You level up from 1 to 10 by collecting plunder, and that plunder is also a direct 1-to-1 currency to advance your overall reputation on the Plunderstorm Battle Pass. Renown tree, which has 40 levels, rewarding transmog, pets, traders, tender, and mounts. The transmog and weapons can be displayed on your Plunderstorm character in-game, but these rewards are really for the retail characters. Renown 38 will see you complete the Plunderlord Pirate set. 39 will
I've actually, this event was really good for bringing people back into WoW who haven't played. I've actually heard a lot of stories now, even though a lot of people said, oh, it's not going to do that. It's not going to have that effect. It has pulled a lot of people back into retail, believe it or not. And that's the thing, is a lot of people haven't given Dragonflight a shot because they are so, they're still rectally destroyed by Shadowlands, and that's okay, understandable, not a good expansion. But Dragonflight actually is. Story aside, the gameplay in Dragonflight's been really good, but a lot of people never even gave it a shot. So I think Blizzard really did get a lot of people to, hey, resub. Hey, you're subbed. Why don't you check out Dragonflight for a little bit? People do, and they realize, hey, this game's pretty fun. I'm going to get back into it. And I really, I've heard plenty of stories, seen comments in my own YouTube videos where people are like, yeah, I actually came back to Dragonflight because of Plunderstorm, which is great. I think it's had its intended effect.
You the Polly Roger dragon riding parrot mount. So this was it, the long-awaited secret pirate patch.
Yeah, Tundra,
massively
plenty of people
teased,
have done that.
Massively anticipated.
My brother
turned
did.
out to be a PvP battle royale. And I know what you're thinking. You're sitting there expecting a good, old-fashioned Taliesin and Evertel shit show section right about now. Yeah. Like, oh, the forums loved it unanimously. Everyone was happy. No, it was a shit show, obviously. And yeah, obviously, we could have hilarious shit shows for days off the back of Plunderstorm. Are you effing kidding me? What the fuck is this? Who asked for this? Who thought this was a good idea? Hate everything about this. I don't want to play in any way, shape, or form. But what I really want to look at, I'm pretty sure Blizzard is just trying to kill WoW. Wow, this is stupid. And what a giant waste of development time. PvP, so most players won't care. Awesome. This has to be the worst patch of all time.
What's wrong with
sorry,
people?
But what I really want to look at today, my expectations were rock bottom and I'm still disappointed. Words can't express my disappointment in this travesty of a patch/content. Wow, I have never cared less about something in WoW. Yeah, it's fair to say that a lot of people are not happy that this was the big secret. But I don't want to dismiss those complaints in a mere shit show segment. I don't want people to feel like I'm ignoring them or am unsympathetic to them by picking out the hilariously intense ones and saying them in a funny voice, although that is fun. Because the truth is, I happen to absolutely share some of these complaints and criticisms. But at the same time, I think it's important to understand that there's a huge amount of positive reaction to Plunderstorm from the community too. And the truth is, I happen to share a lot of this positive reaction too.
I'm one of the positive
this is
people.
The most split I've seen in the community on anything since we started this show, like 7 years.
Till this day, my most disliked video on YouTube ever that I posted, I've been posting for 2 years on that channel. Most disliked video is the one I posted last week where I said Plunderstorm is an overwhelming W. I have a 40% dislikes. 40% dislikes. My dislike ratio for reference is usually I'm usually 88% likes. 80 to 90% like ratio is my thing. 40% of people who've seen that video, I guarantee you they didn't even watch it, they just automatically disliked it because I said Plunderstorm's a good thing. That's ridiculous. I'm not even a PvP guy. I don't even like PvP. But that just goes to show you how ingrained people get. They dig their feet in the ground. They don't want to try it. They're just like, battle royale in my game. My game? That's not my game. Oh my god.
Years ago, let the trial of Plunderstorm commence. Charge 1. Did this have to be kept a secret? I think one of the driving forces behind the, at times, desperately negative reaction on the one hand,
it probably
was
didn't have to be
by
a
the
secret
way the patch was kept
for as long
secret.
as it was.
When you aren't told anything about it, because to quote Holly Longdale, we like the idea of releasing content that has some surprises and isn't data mined or revealed in advance. We also like to see the joy the community gets out of uncovering it all together as they jump into play.
That's fine. What she said is fine, but it really wasn't a secret. They revealed the patch, right? And they gave us a hint.
Come, let us lay waste to this realm.
Macromantic, thank you for the follow, man. Welcome to our Scourge. They didn't really keep it a secret, so that what they did was they created this like wave of speculation, and they were never going to live up to the hype. Never. It was not a good idea. If they had revealed this, like just dropped a patch, and oh, by the way, like that morning, World of Warcraft like releases a bunch of YouTube videos and all this shit, and everyone's like, whoa, we weren't even expecting, what the hell is this, Battle Royale? That would have been a good surprise, right? But by putting that flag on the roadmap, and especially that it's listed like as a Dragonflight patch, but it's completely separate from Dragonflight, that just built up a whole freaking ball of speculation and excitement that was just always going to end in failure. Always.
I think that gave the impression that there would be an element of
they just shouldn't have put
discovery
the
to the content, like Season of Discovery, changes to the game world to find, some mysterious thing to uncover, some story to reveal. That seems like the most obvious reason for keeping a patch completely secret,
right.
And I think it's reasonable that players thought that that was going to be coming. In reality, there was nothing to be added to the experience of Plunderstorm by not knowing about it in advance. Something Blizzard proved because they were happy to reveal it in its entirety during maintenance before it went live. The secrecy wasn't to avoid spoiling anything in the patch, it really was just to edge the community, to build hype and excitement.
Yeah, to blue ball the community.
Fine, but I think it backfired in this case because Plunderstorm is so different to what anyone could have expected. Yeah. So on this charge, I find Plunderstorm guilty. Oh. I am a huge fan of patch content being kept a secret when knowing about it in advance could spoil the content, but that ain't Plunderstorm. I genuinely think that revealing what it was well in advance would have resulted in a much better community reaction to it overall. Charge 2.
Agreed.
This isn't actually WoW, and it shouldn't be called a WoW update. So here's the thing. You enter Plunderstorm via the retail character select screen, but that's instead of entering retail WoW. Plunderstorm exists in its own pocket dimension. It's completely standalone, with completely different mechanics and gameplay.
He's right. It gives rewards towards the real game, like the retail. It gives rewards in retail, and even classic. It gives some Wrath of the Lich King classic rewards, but it's a separate thing. So to put it on the patch cycle, you know, the flag hanging there in the middle of all the Dragonflight patches is really, it confused a lot of people.
To WoW. To all intents and purposes, it is like the original Dota, a mod that someone made using WoW assets, but which is
they could put it on mobile. It's only 5 abilities.
Yeah, in this
it could
case,
go on
those
console
people
too.
that made it were WoW devs, but I honestly think it's a fair point to bring up. This is a different game. And yes, the rewards that you earn in Plunderstorm are given to you in retail and classic, but then so does Hearthstone right now. That's not WoW either.
Yeah, Tundra, and you made the same point that he just did right now. Yeah, it's about as attached to WoW as Hearthstone is, and that Hearthstone can give you in-game rewards for WoW, but it's a separate game. It's as separate as that. So yeah, this could be ported over to mobile. This could be ported over to console. It's a completely separate game. Whether or not it gives rewards or not, it has nothing to do with Dragonflight.
To be clear, obviously there are a million different ways of playing WoW. That's one of the brilliant things about it. Arenas are a completely different game to raids. Pet battles are their own unique thing, as is Trial of Style. But crucially, all of those gameplay modes are accessed in the game world of WoW by your character. And it's your character that partakes in them. It feels really weird to log into Dragonflight and be greeted by a splash screen which is literally saying, hey, you should log out of this game and go play a different game instead. So on this charge, I find Plunderstorm guilty. I think it's perfectly reasonable for players to complain that this isn't a real retail WoW update. But I think it's also important to point out that, as the judge in this case, I actually think that's okay. Precisely because this patch was marketed as 10.2.6, a whole new bonus patch, rather than the established 10.2.5 or 2.7 patches. If Plunderstorm was 10.2.7, I think that would actually be a little bit off, you know, and it actually would be worthy of a lot more discussion, but it's not. And Blizzard made the right call in making it a new patch outside of the expected schedule. Having said that, it may not have replaced a standard Dragonflight update, but it has pushed it back, hasn't it? If reports are to be believed from some of the 60 more favourite WoW creators who know more about this thing than we do because they're so much more favourite than us, not that we're salty though, please don't write on the internet that we're salty because we're not, then this event will last 6 weeks, and only then will we get Season 4, and presumably 8 or more weeks after that, we will get 10.2.7. So yeah, I can understand.
Now, there is a little bit of overlap, though. I see, like the way they did the chart here, he has it up right now. There is a bit of overlap, so I do feel like it's probably the last week of Plunderstorm we will get Season 4. So this will still continue on. There'll be a bit of overlap between the two. That's why I said earlier when I was guessing, like, when are we getting Season 4? I was guessing, like, April 19th. You know, like that week, or like the week, that week, April 15th week or the April 22nd week, like in that time frame, which is only 2 weeks away. But that's when I thought we were going to get Season 4, and there is a bit of overlap on the map, so we're going to have both of them probably happening around the same time towards the end. As far as 10.2.7 goes, yes, had they made it 10.2.7, I think people would have lost their damn minds. And it did obviously take some dev power to create this thing, so maybe it delayed things a little bit, but I'm still okay with that. I'm okay with it. I'm not that angry.
It's not that criticism is what I'm saying, even if I don't think it's the biggest deal this time. Come back and ask me if it happens again. Charge 3. It's PvP, so it's not even for most of the player base. Yeah, they have a lot of staff now. There's no two ways around it. A Battle Royale is a PvP event. Plunderstorm is a PvP game. Most of the community doesn't PvP, so most of the community aren't the target audience for this patch, which Blizz made a big deal of being for all players. Guilty.
Yeah.
Easy.
Mistake.
Well, yes. Firstly, yes, that is obviously true, but I think there is a bit more nuance to it than that. Just gonna put this hammer down, sorry. Firstly, yes, Plunderstorm is PvP.
It's a very casual PvP. Like I said, the reason why a lot of people don't PvP in WoW is because it takes an extreme amount of knowledge. You got to know every spec, every class, every possible combination of abilities, how everything works. You even got to know other classes' cooldowns, what's going on, trinkets. There's a ton of knowledge, a massive amount of knowledge required to PvP at a high level. None of that is required in Plunderstorm. You have to know nothing. You literally can go in and learn all these abilities in one match, and you've caught up to everybody else in terms of knowledge. So it's really just a very casual version of PvP, and that's why somebody who doesn't PvP at all, basically, gets into it and can enjoy it. I can enjoy it. There's a very low skill ceiling for it.
But it's not WoW PvP. It's a completely different game that just uses WoW assets.
It's just skill. Who can click the buttons faster and better.
It's not like arenas or even battlegrounds either, where you are toe-to-toe with other players in a mad fight to the death, because that's not quite how battle royales work, is it? If you've played PUBG or Fortnite or Plunderstorm, then you know that 99% of a match is essentially a scavenger hunt.
Yeah, just running around.
The map for items and upgrades from chests hidden in buildings and corners and caves, killing NPCs to level up, and in Plunderstorm's case,
simulator.
Collecting plunder to advance in the renown tree. And I am not saying that you can choose to play Plunderstorm as a PvE game, but you kind of can. Or at the very least, like one of those multiplayer horror games like Dead by Daylight, with you as one of the survivors, running or stealthing or bushing around, trying to avoid anyone who might attack you while you get all the plunder you can before you eventually die and go again. And you might be thinking, Taliesin, that is absolute dog shit. When someone on stream told me that it was dog shit, my own chat, seriously. To prove a point, I made my next game a pure PvE run, where I did not attack other players.
I believe they did. Why? I believe they did say that some skill-based matchmaking was occurring now. So if you played a lot of Plunderstorm and done really well, I think they are matching people better now. Originally, obviously, they couldn't. There was no background skill to match it to.
At all.
Everyone was new.
And I came second with over 800 plunder. Now I am renown 40 in this game. I have collected every single reward on that battle pass, renown tree, without winning a single match.
Yeah.
And you know what?
Closest I've gotten is second.
I had a lot of fun. Honestly, if you want to make this game about avoiding PvP, then not only can you, I'd argue it's actually the most efficient way of getting renown ranks.
Oh,
so
yeah.
yes, guilty, obviously, but it's one of those charges where if you really want those rewards and you really don't want to PvP, try it. Make that your whole aim, and you might find you enjoy it more than you thought.
It is
Or maybe
enjoyable,
not.
even if you're
you might
avoiding
still
PvP.
hate it. And that brings us to Charge 4. I have to take part in some bullshit thing I don't want to play because it's a limited time event with incredible reward, and that's some FOMO bullshit right there. Okay, I probably could have worded that charge a little more efficiently, but you get the idea. What if you tried playing Plunderstorm
You want the
and
parrot mount.
genuinely don't enjoy it, and now you feel
a good one.
terrible that you're going to miss out on
It's also a dynamic flying mount, right? It does the dragon riding animations and everything. It's a really cool mount. I'm not going to lie.
on these pretty cool rewards. Yeah, that's going to suck for sure. And that definitely is happening for a lot of players. And people aren't necessarily angry about that. I think by far the most common reaction among the player base to this game mode has been, oh cool, that looks great. The devs have done an amazing job. Massive congratulations. I'm glad it exists and it's super fun, but it's not for me. And the FOMO of these rewards is going to force a lot of players into the game mode, and some will enjoy it more than they thought, like me. It's going to make a lot of players not feel good. Plunderstorm is guilty of this, but I have
Yeah, you know what I have to say about this, though? Honestly, I would bet I don't know. I'd bet my left nut that they're going to end up putting this on the on the trading post. That parrot will show up on the trading post eventually. They've already done it with the 6-month sub mount that we're getting in April. They've done it with a couple other mounts that used to be store mounts. They've set a precedent that basically if there's a mount that was a limited time event reward or whatever it was, it can show up on the trading post. So I bet you eventually for PvE players, you'll be able to get this parrot on the trading post. So I wouldn't be too upset if you miss out on it.
I have to say that my own opinion of this is that I'm glad it's a limited time event. Hear me out, okay? I really enjoyed my time playing the game. I'm probably just about done with it now. I'm level 40. I mean, it's not like I need to practice for the Creator Royale or anything, is it? Not that I'm devastated or anything. Don't write on the internet that I'm devastated, okay? Because I'm not. I'm fine. I like Plunderstorm a lot, but I don't want WoW.
The Longboy,
to
that would be
be
controversial.
this. I've enjoyed Plunderstorm like I've been enjoying other
Longboy and Spectral Saber would probably be, they'd be raiding the headquarters of Blizzard at that point.
games that aren't WoW, like Helldivers 2 and
different
Baldur's
color
Gate
of the
3
long boy.
and FIFA. I play a lot of FIFA
Maybe
in my
one day.
downtime. It's tragic. And that's what Plunderstorm is to me, but I'm always going to prefer new content and updates in WoW because that's my 20-year and counting game. We're definitely going to get more seasons of Plunder, probably utilizing the recolors of the pirate set that have been data mined.
Yeah.
And I will look forward to those when they happen, especially if they change maps and variety, but I don't really want it to be a real and permanent part of WoW, even if I really enjoy it when it's there. Does that make sense? I really hope I've explained that in a way that I mean. So yeah, guilty, but I don't know, maybe that's good? I know that's easy for me to say when I've got all the rewards. I know that. Final verdict time, and you may have noticed that I found Plunderstorm guilty on all counts, which you might think is pretty damning, and I mean, I guess it is. I genuinely sympathize with every one of those complaints and do not disagree with them, and yet.
Yeah.
And yet.
Yeah.
The thing is, I really like Plunderstorm.
As do
Hello,
I.
everyone, or should I say, ahoy,
Yeah,
mateys,
Squarespace ad.
piratical
But as do I. I
things
enjoy
are very
Plunderstorm a
happy to
lot.
share that
That's the thing. I enjoy it.
Squarespace
I've had fun with it.
sponsored this
And you can have your complaints,
I'm not talking about
as he
piracy
mentioned.
of the internet
But the thing is,
because
you don't have to be angry.
and you would
The
know
anger is a bit
I'm
outrageous to me.
talking about
It's alright, calm down. Plunderstorm's a limited time thing. It is what it is. You can do it. You don't have to do it. And at the end of the day, I'm happy for anybody who is enjoying it.
decided to embrace the Jolly Roger and make our website a little more piratical. There's nothing a pirate loves more than a bit of coin, and thankfully
Special Barry
Squarespace
Sanders
has
long
an
boy
amazing
edition.
e-commerce system built
Very fast
right in.
long
I
boy.
especially love the custom merch integration with Printful, which we've started using to make our
I
own
could see it
loops.
minus
You
the
can
vendors
design
too.
and put
The long
anything
boy,
you like on your
it could
shop.
happen.
A customer can make a purchase, and then Printful will print and ship and take a cut for fulfillment. A pirate always takes their cut. Now, you're not a pirate if you haven't got a map or just really good seafaring skills and an astrolabe and a compass and stuff. Which is why the maps integration is super handy
Ooh, look at
and
that.
cool. You can even change up the
Squarespace.
default look and style. Very Squarespacey. And as we all know, there's nothing a pirate loves more than a good bit of booty. And thanks to the amazing members
That's
only
right.
functionality, you can give your audience exactly that. Booty. No, but really, you can have a lot
Good
of
old butt
non-spicy fun with members-only content, building content
Can
and
always
community right on
use
your own site.
another
Coin,
death
maps,
knight.
and booty.
17 months to
What
be the
else
death
does
knight of our
a lavender
17
skirt.
months.
lassie need? If you're
Thank you,
feeling
Tundra Freeze, for that
particularly
sub. I
piratical and are
appreciate that,
keen
man.
for a bit of
Thank you.
plunder, you can head to squarespace.com/TaliusandEvitel or use code TaliusandEvitel for 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Look at me, Squarespace is your website provider now. Are you happy about that? Of course you are.
I really, really
See what you did
enjoyed
there.
learning it and grinding it and streaming it and talking about it. For me, it's a really cool game that was just enough like WoW to make me feel comfy and at home
Yeah.
in a style of play that I might otherwise have not been comfortable with. And as a fan of the game, it has been brilliant having so much buzz and
I agree.
discourse. And you might think this one is silly, but it's how I feel. It's great to see how genuinely proud of this the team are. They have really enjoyed working on it and are clearly really into it, and that just makes me happy. That is good
True.
for the game, and it makes me like it more. Plunderstorm isn't going anywhere. It's built for streaming, and it appears to have a wide appeal beyond WoW
Yes.
already. I'm certain it'll be back for at least another season. and
Agreed.
I honestly wouldn't be surprised if they removed the subscription requirement for it next time. And with all of that in mind, in terms of innovation and excitement and buzz and just making people excited about the game and the amount of fun I've had in it personally, I am going to have to declare Plunderstorm a success.
It's a W.
In my opinion. Although
Overwhelmingly,
I am
as
the
I
judge,
said.
and I do have a f***ing hammer, so obviously there are like a million improvements I could suggest. Like, how about being able to see your renown progress on the character select screen to help you decide if you want to go in for another game or not? How about being able to choose and swap between who the pilot is in 2-player games? How about getting rid of the weird swirly effect on the pirate transmog cloak? I'm pretty sure no
Yeah,
one
what-
wants that.
what
Sorry
is
if you
the
want
point
that,
of it?
but I don't want that. I've got a f***ing hammer. And how about letting us know when the end of this event
Like, that swirly effect could have easily been like a little parrot that flies around you. Like, if they had made it a parrot, oh my god, that would have been amazing. I don't understand the little sparkly Tinkerbell thing flying around, though. That makes no sense for the pirate theme.
want that, but I don't want that.
parrot?
I've got a f***ing hammer. And
Holy
how about
shit.
letting us know when the end of this event is planned for, so people who are having to push themselves to get to Renown 40 know exactly what they're dealing with. Muffinus has already been asking people online what other types of mode people would like to see in WoW, and I have to admit, that gets me a little nervous. Like, I don't need a WoW asset version of every other type of
Yeah, I
game
agree.
I like to play popping up as a standalone mode every now and then. I'm probably overthinking this. I'm definitely overthinking this. Actually, you know what? I think it's okay just to
What if somebody suggests a WoW RTS? Oh my god, that would be crazy. That would be crazy.
enjoy a cool thing and celebrate that. So despite how I agree with all these criticisms,
Imagine WoW and
I have to be
RTS.
honest and say I really like Plunderstorm. I'm glad it exists. You can go free, my little game mode friend. No jail for you. Avast! Ahoy! Welcome to
Hey.
the sofa section.
An
Welcome.
FPS.
It would have been really, really good to talk about all of this and all the pirate patch and Plunderstorm and everything on
Overall, I totally agree with like all of his takes, basically. He's totally right. I think Plunderstorm's great for the game. I think it was a W. I'm happy for the people who are enjoying it. If you're a person who doesn't enjoy it, just don't do it. You don't got to ruin the fun for everybody else and diarrhea shit on everyone's parade. Just let the people enjoy it. I think it's having its intended effect. I do feel like it's bringing people back to the game. And do I think in 6 weeks it's going to be gone forever? Hell no. I think we're going to get additional seasons of Plunderstorm. We might have breaks between the seasons. It might go down and come back. But I think we'll get new maps, maybe new themes, all kinds of cool stuff coming in Plunderstorm. So to the future of Plunderstorm, I think it's bright. Looking forward to it.
podcast last week, wouldn't it?
Yes, it would have been really nice if I was there and I didn't have a splitting migraine.
It's a good thing.
You
Yeah,
know what?
it's a good thing
I
they're
was
trying
just
new
so
things.
excited that my
I totally
brain,
agree, Monarch.
it just imploded and I needed to sleep all day.
I think when Plunderstorm launched, you played like a whole 4 hours
Yeah,
of WoW
solid.
in a row.
I streamed it for like
know.
4
my
hours.
goodness, our bodies just aren't built for that anymore.
was
Renowned
fun.
4, baby.
We did it duo and it was really
We
good.
did, it was really fun.
Well, I've talked about Plunderstorm a lot. We're going to talk about it more in the next episode of the podcast on Thursday.
Yeah.
But just like, what are your opinions of it?
I think it's great fun. Like, I was not expecting it, but once I got into it, once I started playing it, it's like, the learning curve, just it happens and you figure out how to do it.
Very
As
easy to
a
learn. Very easy.
Battle Royale player. It took me a couple of tries and I was like, okay, I get what's happening now. I'm enjoying myself and I can see how people fall into like a grind hole and just...
Yeah, damn
you-
those
One more
grind
match.
holes.
Yeah,
You
you,
do get into
were
that
gone
mode.
for a couple days and you emerged.
I ground in that hole for... No, but that's the thing. I didn't even really do that. I played it for probably about 10 hours on stream.
Yeah.
And I probably played it for as long off stream.
And you did it in that time.
And I did it in like
Yeah.
4 days, which just isn't that much, honestly. You look at it and you think, oh, 40 renown, that's a lot, right?
Yeah.
And then you
My only sad thing about the renown is I put in like all those hours early on before they buffed the plunder. So I got all the like low end plunder, so I didn't gain a lot of levels. I played for like 4 hours that day on stream. I only got up to like renown 3. Now it's way easier.
When the end was sort of very in sight, sort of thing. The rest of the time, it was just
a classic
what
Sam
would you
move.
have rather instead of Plunderstorm, if anything? Like, did you have a sense of disappointment when it was announced?
Maybe a little bit. I think
I wanted a
because
world-
it's time limited
world
and
event.
because it's like not actually in WoW, right? It's a WoW patch, but it's not inside of World of Warcraft. Like that put me off a little bit. So I'm a little bit disappointed with that, and I understand people who are disappointed with that as well. But as they've said before, they've been experimenting. They're trying new things. This is definitely.
I'm glad they experimented. I wanted like a Gates of Anchorage pirate event. That's what I was hoping. That was my highest hope, was we were going to get something like that. It didn't happen, but I'm okay with what they did because there are people who are enjoying it.
$15 subscription that you have
Including
to pay
myself
to
a little
play
bit.
it, right? Like,
Exactly.
who's going to pay $15 to play a battle royale that they've never played before?
Exactly.
So it does definitely seem to be working anecdotally.
It's a gateway drug
bringing
back to WoW.
Players
It
that
is.
had lapsed
Sure.
for whatever reason, and often for quite a long time as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean that's good, right? That's a brilliant thing.
I think so, and it's
You're right,
it's
Monarch.
quick and it's
You're right.
not always satisfying, but it is satisfying. It hits like all of the brain buttons that makes you log in and do it and do it and do it and do it.
Oh
until
yeah,
you-
I think there's like a mage tower type
Oh, yeah.
about that.
Oh,
that
yeah.
thing of like
Really
I've died, I'm
waste
done,
to
press
this
the button,
world.
straight back in sort of thing.
And it's funny, I literally
Thirsty,
downloaded
thank you for the follow,
Hearthstone
man.
onto
Welcome
my
to our
phone, and I
scourge.
started playing it very briefly, and then this happened, and I was like, I'm not playing a Hearthstone anymore because this satisfies that like really
Yeah.
quick gameplay loop for
True.
me. I would say a success. I think it's really cool. I think it's really well done, and I'm excited to see what other stuff comes, even though it's not what I was expecting.
We're gonna have a video about Pandemonium this week as well. Which
That's-
is coming in
that's
10.2.7.
gonna- I'm telling you guys.
Would you be happy for Pandemonium?
Don't sleep on Pandemonium. I think it's going to be cool. I do, and it's going to be PvE related. I'm excited for it.
to be a similar thing to this, or do you want it to be something more based in the game?
I think
I want it in the
Pandemonium
game.
has to be more
Yeah,
based in the
has
game.
to be in the
I
game.
feel like they've kind of set up a precedent for stuff that happens outside of the game with this, and I don't know how I feel about that, but I don't think they're going to keep going down that route. I think this is literally just like every now and then a little fun thing's going to happen. Pandemonium feels like it's going to be in the game,
Sure,
and we've like data mined assets and
Yeah,
stuff,
I
right?
hope so. Yeah,
Pretty
yeah.
confident that that's going to be like within Azeroth.
Yeah, good week for WoW, and especially
Hey.
something else we're going to talk about probably
Yeah.
more on the podcast. Finding out that WoW has like twice as many subscribers as we thought.
Yeah, in
and
theory, which is great.
Things are up, and it actually just a
Yeah,
really
fuck the
exciting
haters.
time to be involved with WoW. Alpha will be coming, we suspect, very
Very
soon.
soon, yeah.
And then season 4 in a few weeks as well,
Great.
and it's just incredibly exciting.
all happening
yeah,
at once.
totally.
I
But
love it.
seriously, let us know what you think about Plunderstorm
Mm-hmm.
in the comments below, because I don't feel like we've read enough comments about Plunderstorm in the last couple of weeks. But generally, it's really nice to gauge as many different opinions of
My
it
most
as
disliked
possible, because
videos
I think
about
this is
this
one of those
fucking
things that more than anything in recent WoW history has kind of got a lot of different opinions around it. It's kind of split, and
It's
it's
divisive.
Yeah, it is divisive, and
Marmite,
it's
but-
that weird thing where I can totally see all of the criticisms, and I can agree with all the criticisms. And when they first announced it, I
You're
was
right
like,
back on a dislike
that
the
looks
video.
really cool. I kind of wish it was anything else. Like, you know, I think that looks great. I just wish it had been anything else. And even it's so weird, even getting to Renown 40 and enjoying every second of it. I'm really getting into the game. Loved streaming it.
It's
like,
fun,
so much
man.
fun to
It's
stream.
fun.
It's a great stream game.
But I still kind of feel I'd rather it have been anything else. Like, even though I really,
I agree with
enjoyed
him.
it.
I get it. I
it's
get what
almost
you're saying.
So I love Helldivers, right? If WoW just did Helldivers, but in WoW, and if it was as fun as
Oh my God.
Helldivers,
Yeah.
obviously I'd love it.
Oh my
But
God.
I've got my other games that I play that aren't WoW.
For that.
And I want WoW to be WoW.
Could you imagine like Helldivers during Legion invasions? Like there was just like the Legion, like basically Helldivers and Taurus. Oh my God. That would have been insane. Like just everybody in ships above the planet and just dropping in to these massive waves of Legion invasions. Oh my, that would have been crazy. Man, now I kind of wish that would have happened.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I don't know, but that's not taking anything away from Plunderstorm, which I
Holy
think
shit,
is
missed
legit and
opportunity.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us today. If you like this video, don't thank us, thank our patrons who give their actual real life money to make all of our work happen. Patrons, thank you, because without you,
Yeah,
there'd
the
be a whole
Legion
lot less
ships are-
Taliesin
yeah.
Avatar. If you didn't like it, downvote the shit out of it. Remember, my name is... That's the thing about Plunderstorm, right? You can't get away from your Battle.net name. There's no hiding. When I play, I'm Taliesin. When we play, we are Taliesin and Evertel.
And
There's no
everyone's
two ways
like,
about it.
oh,
Yeah.
them?
By the way, I like that.
Totally. It's like, wait, two people whose Battle.net names...
'Cause you
Taliesin
know
and
legit who
Evertel.
somebody is.
Exactly.
I mean,
Yeah.
you know, so there's no hiding away from our real names.
I'm
this week.
Samiccus.
Let's go, team! Let's go, team! It's plundering time!
No.
Yeah, great video. I agree a lot with what was said here. Look, Plunderstorm was not made for me, and that's okay, because the world doesn't have to cater to Samiccus, right? I'm all right with that. I do the things in life that I enjoy, and I don't do the things that I don't enjoy. And if somebody else is enjoying something, I don't think it has to be deleted because it's not for me. That's a very childish attitude to have. That's how I feel about anybody who's really upset by this. Now, could you have been disappointed because you thought 10.2.6 was going to be something else? Of course you can. Of course you can. I wanted it to be something else. I wanted a world event. That's what I wanted, and I didn't get what I wanted. But I'm not going to sit here and pout and cry and bitch and try to make sure that the people who are enjoying it don't have a good time anymore. No, it's all right. It is what it is, and hopefully 10.2.7 will be great.